First, just, I guess, what were you seeing kind of with guys, Will Klein, Kyle Hurt, guys who've been so consistent this year? What were you seeing what was kind of missing from them tonight?
I think they were just missing. You know, I think specifically to Kyle, I thought he was just being a little too fine with the fastball, just missing off. Got into some tougher counts. And then I think with Will, those guys put together some good at-bats, but made pitches when he needed to. Got a huge double play, but yeah, I mean they're not going to be clean every time out there. They've both been very good for us, but you know you got to give those guys credit today. The Diamondbacks, they spoiled some pitches, they hit to the opposite field, you know, so they battled tonight.
When you see just how, then on the flip side, I mean, your team did have to kind of battle to keep this win. What were you seeing just from the defense that was playing behind, whether it was Will Klein or even Kyle Hurt, and how they were able to just limit the damage? They're in the seventh. They're even just kind of finding ways to help support the pitching staff.
Yeah, Wardo made a really nice play out there to save Trinan, a sliding catch. Obviously, the double play. We made some good defensive plays. And, even that last inning, the PFP from Tanner off the bunt from Perdomo was a nice play. So we did everything we could to, combat, defend what they threw at us tonight. So good team win. It was good to see us come to life offensively. But, yeah, those guys fought back to make it a game.
What did you think of the way that Tanner bounced back from the last one?
It was great. It was great to see. I thought from pitch one he was, pitching with a purpose. Obviously, there was no margin with a one-run lead. And, I just liked the way he was going after those guys and gave up a, soft serve, hit the other way. But outside of that, he was really sharp tonight.
It's obvious, but how different does the lineup feel, especially when you have like Shohei and Freddie hitting like they have the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of how we built this team on the offensive side, and Shohei's been really good the last few weeks. Freddie's been good the last month. All of May was really good for Freddie, and I think Shohei too. So certainly it makes life a lot easier for everyone else, and seems like there's always traffic, creating a situational at bat, which Andy did a nice job, that second time to hit the sac fly. But yeah, there's some other guys that we got to get going, but it is good that the guys at the top and I think also the guys at the bottom did a nice job.
What do you think the difference is in Arenado this year?
Yeah, he's back to being that threat. I think that his body looks more lively. He's getting to the fastball, which I think last year I don't think he was really getting to it like he is that I've seen. He's pulling the ball hard, but he just looks more fresh and looks probably healthy. I love watching him play.
He said he's made some adjustments that he realized he couldn't do what he used to do, and he had to do something else.
Yeah, that's some of the same things that our guys are having to do as you get older. You get experience, but Father Time is undefeated, so you still got to make some adjustments, and he has clearly.
Do you see that with Freddie too? Is he making any adjustments?
I think he's a work in progress. Some of these guys have had so much success doing what they've done for so long, but as you kind of get older, you got to make adjustments. You have to.
What was the situation with the mound visit in Dalton?
Yeah, we were out of mound visits, but then as the rule states, when there's a pinch hitter, the catcher gets that opportunity, and I still, they made their decision. I still don't agree with it. I want to get some more clarity, because when I went to the mound, they didn't announce a pinch hitter at that point in time. The one hitter was in the on-deck circle. Pavin was their other two guys were on the bench, and then the lights go out. I'm on the mound, and so I felt we had it. But for me, I'm not going to ice our own pitcher, Will Klein, on the mound, but it worked out.
When you look at just your outing today, kind of how did you find navigating through their lineup? It felt like kind of more soft contact today.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what we were looking for, just make sure I was in the zone, filling up the zone well, and, just attacking guys. And we knew that they like to swing and they hack, so
if I can execute a good pitch, hopefully I can get him to get some soft contact, easy outs, and I think we did pretty well.
It's only your second start with this team, but when you look at just this past week, does anything look different for you kind of going into this one, or anything you were focusing on to look to get to different results today?
I think the focus was kind of the same. There's definitely been some little adjustments that I've been making that I feel like are moving me in a good direction. So I think the big thing is just making sure I stick to those and continue to, work at that and get better each day.
It seemed like the fastball was playing up a little bit tonight. Is that the result of any of those adjustments?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a big thing for me, is to make sure the fastball is working well and, getting on guys, because it makes everything else play up better. So seeing a little more velo is definitely better, and, something that I've obviously been working on, and, felt like I was in a good spot getting back to that, and now it's just a matter of continuing to climb.
It's hard to evaluate really after just 2 starts within the organization, but how much can a fresh start, jump start, the changes that you're looking to make?
Yeah, I think it can be huge. Yeah, I think it's a good reset for me, and I think so far everything's been very comfortable, and it's been a very easy transition for me. So the communication's been great. I think that's a big part for me, and just the comfort level and the trust that I feel in myself from the team, I think is big for me, and I think that's definitely gave me a little more success.
Play when you're going on your backhand, and
yeah, I mean it's just in that situation, you base loaded, kind of the game's getting closer and closer, and I know Alex is going to be kind of towards second base for the right-handed hitter up. Tommy's really fast, so in that instance, I just kind of went with it, and I was just glad Mookie was there in that situation too. But just trying to get an out, just trying to do the best you can.
Obviously, the lineup is deep as it is, but how big a difference does it make when Shohei is hitting like he has been?
Yeah, and that's why we've been winning a lot. When you have the greatest player of all time playing this game on your team, and he's hot like he is right now, it's fun to watch, it's fun to be a part of, and besides when he gets on, it seems like every single time he's creating havoc on the bases, extra base hits, and we get to watch him do everything tomorrow.
Freddie, how does Shohei finding his groove again offensively help the rest of the order fall into place?
Yeah, I mean, when he's on base, when he's feeling good, it just kind of trickles into everybody else. When he's leading off the game with double, triple, singles, getting on base, walks, when he's feeling good, he works the counts. He's, like I said, he's the greatest player there is. So when the greatest player is going well, usually good things happen for the team.
That was a good day for the three of us sitting here on the desk, because all three of us had our called shots. And a called shot doesn't mean you're calling a home run necessarily. It just means they're going to have a big impact on the game. And if you have a multi-hit game or you hit a home run, it's an automatic called shot. But look at those nights for Shohei. Jerry, your called shot. Freddie, Adrian's called shot. I went with Dalton rushing. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Love it. Yeah. Our producer pick, by the way. He had 3 in a row. But tonight, not so much. Yeah. It happens. Yeah. Sorry, Eric. Maybe next time. Mookie Betts went 1 for